Continuing, reviews some past properties and current properties. We have present with us Commissioner Gardner, Commissioner Sackowitz, and Commissioner Lee. I think you are online.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I've got you clear. Great. Then let's go ahead and get started. So the agenda item 1 is just simply to approve the minutes from the meeting we held in February 24th of this year. Is there any comments on the content of those minutes?
I have none.
Commissioner Gardner has none. Commissioner Lee, do you have any?
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve item number 1.
Commissioner Lee, are you available? He was there. Yes, but he can hear us. Commissioner Lee, are you muted?
Here we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Yep.
Okay, I second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
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 That passes 3-0. Agenda 2, approve the Board of Equalization Assessor approved review process report for March 23, 2022. I've gone through it. Enjoyed reading the summaries. Thank you for that. Any comments from Commissioner Gardner or Lee on that?
I have none.
None from me.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion to approve item number 2.
all in favor say aye.
Oh, we got to second it.
Second.
I guess
Aye.
I should wait for Commissioner Lee to pop in.
Aye.
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 Passes 3-0. Number 3, approve the Board of Equalization hearing process report for March 23, 2022. Are there any questions on that item?
I had none.
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0. Number 4, approve or deny petition to Board of Equalization to hear appeal of property valuation after filing deadline for parcel 51-571-0003. I had some questions about that. One is a member of the assessors here. It looks like they're appealing the valuation.
Yeah, their basis for the late appeal was no notice, but our office has taken the opportunity to review the parcel, and we would have no objection to approving a late appeal on the basis of a factual error in the percent complete for tax year 2021.
Okay. Anything from the tax assessor's office?
No, the basis for their appeal on failure to notify, it doesn't meet the standard because the county fulfilled its requirement to send out the notice. We can't obviously control if the notice was received or reviewed, but according to county records, we did send out the notice timely to the address that was provided by the warranty deed that was recorded at the end of 2020. So the notice was sent out, but obviously if there's a factual error that can be reviewed as part of this, then there should be no problem.
Okay, so we should, in your opinion, approve this then.
Yeah.
Any comments, Commissioner Gardner, Commissioner Lee?
I'll make a motion that we approve the petition as stated in number 4 based on a factual error finding.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0. Number 5, approve or deny annual statement of continuing property exemption for specific religious organizations in the attached list and their statements. I've gone through all of those. It's quite a read. Are there any comments? I have no hesitation on approving this.
Do you have anything to add, Vicki?
I don't have any comments on the religious ones. They all turned in their paperwork timely, and they didn't have to meet any other standards since they're religious.
Okay, well, I am comfortable making a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes 3-0. Number 6, I guess I could take them as a block, but 6, 7, 8.
Commissioner, there are some questions on the charitable ones, so you may want to
Okay,
do that
so
one
we'll take
separate.
one at a time then. Okay, let's go with number 6 then. This one is in the case of specified educational organizations. Any comments on that?
These are all schools that are not public or charitable, and they all have, they all meet the standards, they all have a curriculum, they all have teachers, and they have an enrolled student body, so there are no questions on theirs.
And I think all of them have several years under their belts
Correct.
in this work.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve item number 6.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0 on number 6. Number 7, approve or deny 2022 annual statement for continued property exemptions for specified charitable organizations in the attached very large lists I went through. These are churches, archaeological organizations, Girl Scouts, abilities, physical, mental health, youth, and the mental health include adults, youth, and children. Anything that you would like to add to this?
For one, Utah County Masonic are selling their property this month sometime, so theirs would be prorated for this year.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about some of the questions on the percentage?
No,
Okay. So I guess there's, other than that, I can't think of any other ones that there were questions on. They all meet those 6 guidelines that they have to have. And apparently, each one of those 6 guidelines in that Supreme Court ruling are not equal, and they don't have to meet all of them. So going that way, then they all meet the standards to continue their charitable.
Okay. Any advice from you, Adam, on the legal side?
I don't have anything to add. You're familiar with those 6 points that she was referencing.
The standards.
The standards, yeah. Okay. Then I just wanted to check on that. But
Okay. Okay. Any further discussions?
I don't think so. I am willing to approve item number 7, contingent the proration of any sold property.
And I would say those 3 books, those are all the continued, so be thankful they're all online now.
Yes, it took a long time to go through those.
Could I just ask one quick question, Vicky?
Mm-hmm.
Is the restaurant on South University
Okay.
on that list?
Okay, so when we sent all the stuff to Provo Nonprofit, we did not list the restaurant that was approved, and then the tax commission said they were not eligible. And I got a call from Shannon Daly over there that said Mr. Stevens had heard they were making changes to the law, to code, that they possibly could get it this year, but they did not. The code did not change for this year for any of these reasons, and so they added them on their list, but we did not put them. They were changed to be denied once the tax commission denied their
appeal.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, we appealed it and they overturned it
Okay.
because it's a vacant building not being used for anything.
So we're not granting them charitable exemption in this action.
Right, for that one.
Just
The
wanted to
one
make
and only organization.
sure.
Right.
Okay.
So what we're doing is
one
approving the
property
list.
on
that you
University
have.
Avenue.
Okay.
Okay. So like I said, I move to approve a pending proration for properties that are sold.
And the one denial. And-
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 3-0. Number 8, approve or deny the 2022 charitable plan annual statement for continued property exemption for Alpine Valley Care Center, or the known as Mission Alpine Valley Care Center.
Okay.
Any comments on that one?
the next ones are the charity plans. This is Amelia's first time. Each year when anything that's medical or nursing home, they have to provide us a charity plan showing how they are given a benefit to the community. And so the next ones are these people coming from these organizations to explain this.
Okay.
So I invited them all. So is someone here from Alpine?
There's a hand raised online.
And Vicki, these are numbers 8 through 12, right, that fall into that category?
Yes.
And we're going to have individuals speak to each one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to allow Michelle Hardman I believe she's here to speak to Alpine Valley Care. Michelle, can you hear us?
I am. I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Did you guys have any questions?
I've gone through it. It seems to meet the standards for charity in your plan. I had no additional, I was asking if you had any additional insights that you'd like to provide over and above what was provided in the application.
No, we just, being a nonprofit, we do offer, lots of services which were included in my property tax exemption, offering students a place to come and learn all about nursing and the care we provide. And, being nonprofit, we do have the ability to, provide cares for those who are not able to pay for themselves. So
I appreciate the outline that you did provide. Commissioner Gardner, do you have any
No,
thoughts on this? Any
No.
questions you want to ask?
no, and this is pretty much the same as last year, right? I didn't see any major changes.
Yeah, traditionally, they just explain their gift to the community and specifically that they give to the community more in a matter of dollars and cents than what they would have paid in property tax. But
Okay.
Okay.
Commissioner Lee, do you have any questions?
Yes, and so I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that in the explanation from the organization. If they could kind of go through and demonstrate what specifically their gift is and how it would offset with it's offset by the property tax, that would be helpful.
yeah, absolutely. So in there, it explains that, we allow Brigham Young University as well as Mountain Land Applied Technology College and Ameritech. They free of charge come and can do all of their clinicals so they can continue their nursing education through our facility. We also have, $21,000 that was gifted to the community for charitable care for unreimbursed indigent funds. We also have, lots of volunteers that are able to come. So our grand total of gifts to the community through all of those, in addition to the Utah State provider tax that we pay annually, is a little over $400,000 per year for 2021.
Fantastic. And how does that that's great. That's what I was looking for. And just on the property tax basis, do we have an outline or an estimate of what that would be if you were paying that?
I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually have that on hand here.
But I can't imagine it being $400,000 worth. But I just want to get
No.
that on.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, last year's in 2020, we were right around 70 to 80,000 for property tax.
Perfect.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve item number 8.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0. Number 9, approve or deny the 2022 charitable plan annual statement for property tax exemption for community nursing services for property account number 22669. Vicki? Do you have someone here that could speak to
I
it?
don't see anyone here for them.
Okay. Can you speak any more to it?
Or we can,
I'm,
oh,
I'm,
we got somebody.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh,
Michelle, what is your full name? Michelle
My name is Michelle Zimbelman.
Zibelman. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm representing Community Nursing Services, and we are a home health hospice agency that also provides pharmacy and DME services in the Utah County. And for 2021, the services that we provide to the communities, we have a couple different programs. One of them is Senior Wish, so we will offer any seniors that they have a wish and what they would like to do. We will provide whatever service that is. Sometimes it's an airplane ride. Sometimes it's going to a concert. So we do a variety of those things. And in 2021, we were able to do some retreats. We did some personalized treat deliveries and did a lot of restaurant catering for different families while they're in our hospice services. The other thing that we do is in 2021, we did a lot of home health hospice services free of charge, as well as our infusion services. We provided that, and immunization and vaccines. And the total of all those services together is approximately $23,000. We do pride ourselves in being able to provide care regardless of the ability to pay. So that's something that is one of our major goals for our organization. We only have personal property there. I don't know what that value is. So I apologize for that. I'm not sure how that compares to what the dollars that we spent last year, and hopefully this next year we'll be able to do more with the COVID restrictions being released.
So this would this then with the 23,000 you're saying is offsetting on the personal property, the tax rate, not the real property.
We do not have real property in Utah County. It's just a personal property.
Do you know if your personal property reaches and Paul, you'll have to remind me because it changes all the time. Is it $15,000?
To be honest, I don't know. We don't have a lot of personal property down there. We're talking, desk chairs, things like that. We don't have.
Well, I asked that question because if it doesn't even reach that level of, I think it's like $15,000 or something, then we don't even charge for that. There's already an exemption.
Oh, okay. Well, but I learned something new today, so I guess I got to figure that out. So,
maybe there might be benefits, for your organization being listed as, tax, having the property tax exempt, for other purposes. So I'm not trying to say go that way. I was just wondering if you're just personal property, you might already be underneath the exemption if you fill out the form.
Well, I'll be honest. If we do this, this is something we do. It's not something that's going to change. So to fill it out, it's not really a big deal for us. So we're happy to do that too. So,
Mr. Lee.
Commissioner Lee, we have staff here. Please identify yourself.
Paulette Stetzer with the Assessor's Office, and I'm over the Personal Property Program. The exemption limit for this year is $25,000. So if the equipment is under that and they request the exemption, they're most likely to be granted that exemption. So there would be no additional taxes.
Right. And that's why because their gift to the community is about $23,000, but if they fill out the form, they're going to get $25,000, and it sounds like they don't even have $25,000 worth of personal property, to be taxed. And so it's just an interesting dynamic. I'm fine with moving forward with what we're doing here with the tax exempt. But
Mr. Chairman.
thank you for the input.
Commissioner Lee, member, and Mr. Chairman, just for a point of reference, and for the benefit of the organization that's on here, the statutory exemption is probably an easier process than coming in here and going through this process, because the tax exemption for a charitable exemption, especially for a medical facility, requires the submission of a charity plan and a longer form. The statutory exemption is a short application process and is relatively simple. So I mean, either way, they will still get the same end result of getting exempted from property taxes. But one way is a little bit longer, the other way is a little bit shorter, and it's up to them which way they like to choose. So we're happy to accommodate either way.
Michelle, did
And
you
that's
get,
and,
did you
and
get
that's
that?
true. And I think and that's true. And the only reason why they might, I don't know if they're going for grants or any grant status, and maybe a nonprofit organization might put them in a different category.
Michelle, did you capture what Bert Harvey from the tax
Yes.
office said?
Yes, I did, and we do apply for various grants, and we do that. So I'd have to check with my other department on that. But what I got from the conversation was we could do a statutory exemption form if we wanted to do that instead of this process. Is that what I understood?
That's correct. Michelle,
Okay.
You guys could either do the statutory exemption through the assessor's office, which is, like I said, is probably a shorter process, or you can do it through our office if you need to maintain a tax exempt, like a charitable tax exempt status through the county.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing we'll want to do that. So thank you.
Okay. Any further questions or comments?
Nope. All right. I'll make a motion to approve item number 9.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes 3-0. Number 10, approve or deny 2022 charitable plan and annual statement for property tax exemption for Heritage Behavioral Health Systems. Any comments on that one, Vicki?
Is there anyone online still, Sally?
I'm sorry, good point. Do we have anyone to speak to?
Yes, we got
This
Russ
one?
Depew from Heritage Schools. Well, sorry.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Russ, are you here for Heritage Schools, or are you here for Heritage Behavioral Health Systems? Is that the same?
One and the same, yep.
Okay.
Do you have any insights that you would like to add to the documents that you've already submitted?
Nothing more than the documents that are submitted. Again, we are a residential treatment center and do provide many discounts for families that are unable to pay for the services in the range of $250,000 to $300,000 each year, depending on family circumstances, and about 150 of that is Utah families that apply for those discounts.
Okay. Any further questions or comments, Commissioner Lee?
Nope. And again, I would assume that I don't know how many facilities they have in Utah County, but I will just assume that their property tax is less than that 150,000.
Yeah, I've got 2 property serial numbers here. Were there more than that, Russ?
No, just those 2 properties
Okay.
in Orem and in Provo.
All right.
Right. I will make a motion to approve item number 10.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0. Number 11, approve or deny 2022 charity plan and annual statement for continued property tax exemption for Mountainlands Community Health Center. And there are 4 properties.
Is anyone online from them?
Eric, is that you?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, you're representing Mountainlands.
Yes, sir.
Anything you would like to add to the filings that you provided?
No. Very similar operations for us this year. I'm excited as we're moving a little bit back from treating a lot of COVID cases to what really is kind of our main focus of preventive and family health care, dental care, behavioral health, and pharmaceutical services. And so we're kind of excited to get back to our normal book of business.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Comments?
And your dollar amount of estimated, or your dollar amount of charity to the community is what?
So I've got it broken out by service type. For medical services, about 7.4 million. Dental services, 876,000. Behavioral health is 521,000. And then I think I've spoken to this group in the past about the significant discount for pharmaceutical services we're able to pass on to patients, which equates to just over a $42 million discount, which is a pretty incredible thing for us to be able to pass on.
That's why I like you guys. I'll just state that right now.
That's pretty sizable.
Yeah. So, my brother recently came back to the United States from Canada, and prior to getting on Medicaid, he's going through stage 5 kidney failure in Mountain Lands. Was able to give him transition care until he was able to get on Medicaid and get into his regular doctor. So I personally appreciate the work that you've done in keeping my brother alive while we got him on to Medicaid. So thank you.
Yeah, I mostly look at spreadsheets, but I'm glad we were able to provide services to him.
There's human beings within those digits on your computer screen, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah, thank you. All right, with that, I'll make a motion to approve item number 11.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes
Thank
3-0. Number 12, approve or deny 2022 charity plan and annual statement for continued property tax exemption for Planned Parenthood Association of Utah, serial number 41717 0001, and personal property tax account number 26987. Anyone here to speak to that?
Is Carrie Galloway online?
I don't have anyone with their hand up in the online group in the on the video conference.
Anyone in this room to speak to Planned Parenthood?
All right, without a plan, I don't think we can approve it, so I'll make a motion to deny item number 12.
Second?
And I'd like to add a comment on that if I could, in support of your motion, but ultimately the Board of Equalization decision to deny the Planned Parenthood Association of Utah's request for tax exemption for this year is still working through the appeal process that was begun in March.
That was for last year.
Exactly. It was started in the appeal process started in March of last year, 2021. It's still working through the appealing process now. But from what we have seen last year and written out a statement for that, is that the lack of gift there are a great many diverse communities within Utah County, and the harm done to the communities by both the local and parent franchises and organizations of Planned Parenthood, the charitable educational gift standard constraints, and to be consistent with the Utah County Board of Equalization position in the pending appeal compels us to, for my part at least, once more deny the requester's property tax exemption application. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0 to deny number 12. Number 13, approve or deny the 2022 new application for property tax exemption for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, serial number, and there's 4. Is there anyone here to speak to these properties?
Yes, Kelly Taylor is here from the LDS Church.
State your name again. What was your name?
Kelly Taylor.
Kelly Taylor. Nice to meet you, Kelly. Anything you would like to add to what has been filed?
No, just if you have any questions.
I don't have any. I'm good with the documents that were filed.
Commissioner Lee, do you have any comments?
I don't. I'll make a motion that we approve number 13.
All right, then I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
And number 14, approve, deny the same applications for a serial number, or the Hope Nonprofit, Inc., and it looks like it's one property with some personal property associated with that,
We've got someone with their hand
low-income
up.
housing that they support. Is there anyone here to speak to this one?
There's a person with their hand up online.
I'm sorry?
I'm here, Chris Anderson.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
Before he starts, I just wanted to explain, this is a brand-new organization that has applied this year. They provide services to victims of sex trafficking, and so he may want to explain a little bit more what they do then, since it's a brand-new organization.
Thank you, Vicki. Christopher, go ahead and speak to this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Grateful to be here. Thanks to Vicki for her endless help in us through this process. She's been so wonderful, so greatly appreciate her. So Dahlia's Hope, we provide aftercare for victims of sex trafficking. The property itself is just a transitional property where victims of sex trafficking will stay for either a couple days up to a couple months, just depending on what the need is. We provide full clinical care, physical needs, medical care, dental needs, all the way up to just basic living skills to education, helping them to. We really want to get them from where they've come from to back to the life that was stolen from them. So to be back to 100% living, to be on their own, being able to provide for themselves, get them on a path of whatever career they want to be on. But the property itself is just, we do most of our care in person. So if they're coming from out of state, they need a place to stay for a couple of days or weeks until they can get into their own place. Or if they progress far enough along, we don't handle anybody that's come fresh out of trafficking. We work with other organizations that can handle that because there's a lot of precarious situations, a lot of times drug addictions, traffickers still trying to seek them out. So no one that comes to the property is fresh out of trafficking, but as they've come out, they've gotten stabilized, now they need to get to a place where they can be on their own. This provides a place that's safe until they can make that transition where they can start, renting an apartment on their own or something like that.
Remind me, when did you organize?
In 2019.
2019, so about 3 years ago.
Yes.
How many individuals have you helped?
We've served, it's not quite 50, but almost 50.
50
and our capacity is to serve 20 at one time.
So of the 50, you've served 20 at one time. What are the age ranges on this 50?
So we focus primarily on adults, unless if they're minors, they're already in a safe place. So we've helped a couple minors, but they're with their parents. But it's really an adult because most minors, if they're not with their parents, they're in the foster care system, which has their own set of rules and things that they do. So it's mostly adults. And it's anywhere from 20, I think our oldest one she's in her late 50s. It doesn't matter when they were trafficked. If they were trafficked, we'll help them. Some of ours have been, so they were trafficked maybe when they were teenagers, just never really dealt with it, found out about us and came for help. We put them through our clinical program at no cost to them. Whatever care they need, we want to be able to meet them where they're at. And then we have them, the younger ones that are more fresh out of trafficking that need a lot more help and resources, but that's okay. We just want to provide whatever it is they need.
I appreciate you doing this. Under any other name is still slavery, so I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. It's a worthy cause.
It is. Commissioner Gardner, do you have any comments?
No, just that it's fantastic work that you do, and I'm glad that you're here for the resource for our community. With that, I'll make a motion to approve item number 14.
Second. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Passes 3-0 to approve item number 14.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep it up, Christopher. Number 15, approve or deny for Mountain Country Home Solutions, one property.
Is there anyone online? Used to be Neighborhood Housing Services. I'm here. Okay. So,
Anything you would like to add? And please state your name when you come up.
I am Eric Jorgensen, the operations manager of Mountain Country Home Solutions, and I have nothing to add other than to answer any questions you may have.
I don't recall, but when did you get established?
We have been here since 1994.
94.
Under Neighborhood Housing Services of Provo. We currently have 20 exempt properties in Utah County under our affordable housing rental portfolio. And this particular property is a senior housing complex that we are building in Orem, a fourplex, to house. All of our housing is for low to moderate income individuals and families.
More like, instead of affordable housing, more like critical housing.
No, it's just, it would be kind of like what Provo Housing Authority provides and the Housing Authority of Utah County with their low to moderate income housing. These are seniors that are still able to get around. Most of them are on a limited budget.
Right.
And so our rents are very much reduced and subsidized to help them just get on with their life and be able to pay for their food and their medical needs.
Do you have any relationships with the Lands Trust organization?
No, we do not. We are an independent nonprofit.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Adam,
you.
do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to mention one thing, and maybe we can give Mr. Jorgensen an opportunity to mention it. Based off of his application, it appears that the property is vacant. And I wanted to see if he's could provide us with any information on if the property is vacant or if it's the ground's been broken, if it's being used for a charitable purpose.
So just to speak to that, we have got it out to bid right now. We have broken ground on it. We've got the infrastructure in place. And we're hoping to be starting construction in May or June of this year. We have received funding from Provo Redevelopment and Orem City in the form of home funds and CDBG funds to help do this project.
When you say you have infrastructure in place, is that the materials that are going to be used to build?
Just the sewer laterals are in place, and water and sewer are online, and the road going into the property is in place as well.
Okay.
When do you expect the construction to be complete on that, and when do you think you will have occupancy?
We are hoping to have that completed by the end of the year, with occupancy being at the beginning of next year.
Okay, so what you're asking for is the tax break this year while you're going through and completing the work.
Yes,
prior
we
to
are.
occupancy.
So it's a ball in motion, basically. It's
this is this property that you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Adam, did you have anything else you need to add to this?
That was the only matter that I wanted to address.
Okay.
Commissioner,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna speak
So
up
a
here.
question.
Commissioner Lee, go ahead.
So on the infrastructure, I just want to make sure I understand clearly the infrastructure that you have been working on. Was that done in conjunction of the purchase, or did you purchase the property and then start putting the infrastructure in place, or was the infrastructure already in place when you purchased the property? And was that something that was done before the 1st of January?
Yes, that was. The infrastructure was already in place when we purchased the property, and that was done before the 1st of January.
When did you purchase the property?
We purchased it last May of 2021.
So ground has been broken, leasing and contracts were in motion prior to.
So the question I'd have for Adam then is, from his perspective in looking at that, are we still on solid grounds to move forward in accepting this, or does it meet the criteria that's needed?
One more quick question for the applicant. This is Paul Jones. Would be the status of a building permit.
We have not acquired the building permit. We've went through all of the process with Orem City, and it's been approved, but we haven't got a contract. We actually put this out to bid last year, and with the prices increasing as dramatically as they were on construction costs, the bids that we had from the contractors that bid on it, they're not familiar with affordable housing, and they were very overly inflated bids, to say the least. So we felt that it was in our best interest to not accept those bids and put it back out to bid now that I've got some contractors that are more familiar with affordable housing. We realize we do have a gap. We are working on that gap financing with both Orem City and Provo Redevelopment, the Home Consortium program, and that's why we are putting it back out to bid right now.
So the question for the board here really is whether or not you find that the applicant has dedicated this purpose to a exclusively charitable use at this point. So vacant property would not normally qualify because it's not being exclusively used for a charitable purpose. Of course, the board can approve it before, like occupancy, for example, but you would need to find that it's been irrevocably dedicated to a nonprofit or a charitable use.
And you're not using the property right now for any other purpose.
No, we are not.
Okay, thank you.
They've already broken ground, so that's in the process
And
of.
it's in
Does that count toward
And looked for
exclusive
grants.
use?
The infrastructure work was done, just to clarify, the infrastructure work that was done before was done by the prior owner, who then sold it to us for this purpose. It had been already deemed senior housing. It had been zoned in Orem City for senior housing, and so that purpose did not change. The only thing that's truly changed is that it will serve individuals and couples that are under 80% area median income in the low to moderate income range. So we have not broken any ground at this point on our own with our construction.
Okay, I misunderstood then earlier. Okay.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, so you just have land that has not yet been developed. The infrastructure is there from the prior owner, but you have not been able to actually build anything yet because you're still working through the contractual process.
Correct.
Is there allowances in the law to because of the intent behind which they're working and the organization is pre-existing organization?
Normally, the two things you'd look for is either an active construction project or a building permit. So those would be the two things that would indicate that the property is irrevocably dedicated to that purpose, is that you're actually building something or you have a building permit to build that thing.
Does that apply to a new organization that's trying to create this environment, or does that also apply to an existing organization that has been doing this for some time, in this case 94?
Well, I don't think there's any distinction between
Trying to expand.
Yeah, there's really no distinction there because there's no question that Mountain Country Home Solutions is if they're a nonprofit and they have other properties, it's really about the use of this property. It's really
I feel comfortable moving forward because you've done bids, and yes, those bids were probably quite large. And we literally yesterday approved a 30%, $500,000 increase on a construction project. So I can see why it's taking longer than usual. I think in a traditional year, we would maybe question why you're taking so long, but under COVID and under us literally having the same issues as we're bidding out projects, I can see that it would take a year. So I'm willing to give one this year, and then hopefully you've got occupancy by next year, and that's not an issue. So with that, I will.
Before you make a motion, I do have one more question.
Yeah.
I think Mountain Country Home Solutions, I think you keep providing the articles of incorporations for Neighborhood Housing Services of Provo, and the board does need to confirm that you're a nonprofit. And so I was just wondering if you, what kind of assurances can you provide or proof that MCHS is a nonprofit? I mean,
I have supplied all the documentation
Have you-
with our name change, our legal name change.
Oh, okay.
Our tax ID number, EIN number has never changed. It is still the same that we were issued in 1995. And I supplied all of that documentation.
Okay, I must have missed the name change. Vicky, have you seen? Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we good then? Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve item number 15, recognizing that there has been a delay, but that you have active bids out, and in good faith that this will be used for a nonprofit purpose for affordable housing for senior citizens.
Commissioner Lee, do you have any?
So I'll second for discussion, but I'd like to talk to that.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead,
So,
Commissioner.
in the past, in looking at this, we have typically denied these just because of what's been stated, unless it's part of a process in which this is part of their business structure and model, and otherwise, I think we run a fine line because there's plenty of organizations out there, even religious organizations, that will buy pieces of property, but if they're not actively engaged in them, we have denied them, or they haven't even come before us because we have traditionally denied them without either a building permit or an active status in the way of moving forward. So unless I would probably have to vote no on this, unless there's some sort of demonstration that this is part of the plan that they have done over and over, consistent with that plan, from the past.
Can you address that?
We have done that over and over in the past. Well, we have not. This is a unique situation, sir. Typically, all of our homes that we have purchased or built, and we have already had those in use for the stated purpose before asking for the exemption. So this is unique in itself in that case. The stated use will be followed through with, and that's all I can speak of that. I would say that if you're not comfortable in approving it, we will just bring it back to the board next year after we have occupancy and look for the exemption status then.
Yeah, and we've had some in the past which have been challenged all the way through, and they've had a process, and their process has been consistent, over periods of time. This one, I get it. We've got COVID. We've got a lot of issues that are happening out there. But I think that if we were to move forward on this one, it would throw into question plenty of them from the past, and even those that don't apply. Kind of understanding that the process is set in place to what we can move forward with. And so that would be my concern.
Adam Beck, County Attorney's Office, and I just wanted to throw out there that they're welcome to reapply once they do have that building permit.
Oh, that's a great point.
Do you have a view of when you might get that building permit?
It's our hope to do that in May or June of this year.
They could come back and apply in May or June. Maybe we'll do that. Let's continue this. Can we continue this until the June BOE meeting? Is that possible?
Commissioner, actually, no, it's not. The state
Okay.
law requires that the decision on tax exempt status for something that's not being applied for in a partial year exemption after they take ownership of something. The decision deadline is the beginning of May. So you could continue this until next month, but that's the latest we could delay the decision on this particular parcel.
So today's just a yes or no, and if it's a no, it has
Or
to
we
reapply
could continue it
next
until next month.
We can continue next month. How the statute is currently written, and it is slightly changing. The legislature did pass a bill this year that gives us a little bit more latitude. But a tax exempt organization has to apply for a new exemption either by March 1st of the year they're seeking exemption, or within 30 days after taking ownership of the property. So in this, when they apply by March 1st, the board's required by statute to make a decision by the 1st of May. Of course, that's all wrapped up with the certified tax rate timeline, because the assessor's office has to provide the assessment roll by May 23rd, and so any exemptions have to be accounted for in the assessment roll when we go to calculate certified tax rate. So, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else that you wanted to add? I saw him come up.
I'd just like to thank the board for their time. We don't want to cause any ripples in the normal process. That's not what we were looking to do. We were hoping to have this under construction and going at this point, but that's not how it worked out.
Okay. We have a motion, Commissioner Lee.
Oh, sorry. Is there a second motion, or are we still on the
Well,
first
I was
motion?
wondering if we
Waiting
can.
on a second. So
Yeah, so I was gonna change it to modify my motion to say continue for 1 month.
Will you be able to get it done in a month, you think?
Do you think?
Honestly, no. I don't anticipate that happening.
So we're still looking May or June before you can get an answer.
Right.
Okay.
And then I can withdraw that motion and stick with the original motion.
Commissioner Lee?
Oh, sorry. It hesitated for there, so I didn't hear what the motion was.
So I had moved to approve pending that they do have active bids out and that they have already bid on it once and they've got a second bid. But
And that's the motion?
yeah, that was the motion.
I think Commissioner Lee already seconded that motion, so you might.
Commissioner Lee, I didn't hear your second or
It was
opposing
previously.
motion.
It was previously that he had
Oh,
seconded it.
so we're going back to the original motion?
Yeah. We could-
I'm waiting for your motion, yes, or contrary motion, Commissioner Lee.
Well, I think at this point, I think I already seconded that first one for discussion.
Okay.
And if that's what we're going to vote on, I will be voting in the negative.
Okay. I will vote, I understand the history, but I think I'll go ahead and vote to approve this application. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so we have 2-1 on that one.
So it passed.
So what will happen is a year from now, if it's still not done, it most likely will,
Yeah, if it's not,
It will
if we don't have
probably-
occupancy next year, then we'll vote.
will have to be
the other way.
most likely be assessed this current year and next year.
Yeah.
I understand, and I will make sure that we let Vicky or the staff there know
Okay.
as we proceed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, you said they'd be assessed for, if they don't have occupancy, they'll be assessed for this year and the next year. I don't think that's I don't think that's how it works. But
It would not apply for this year then? Okay, then I misspoke then.
no, they're going to get tax exempt status for this year,
Okay, okay,
according to what was just passed.
okay, then I'm corrected. Okay, agenda number 16, approve or deny application for Rural Housing Development Corporation. Is there someone here to speak to that?
Hi, I'm Brad Bishop. I'm the executive director for Self Help Homes, and just open for any questions. But I can add, this was a previously exempt property. that has been developed into 2 phases. So this new exempt serial number is the second phase of it. And we've got 28 homes on the first phase actively going on now for low and very low income families with our mutual self-help housing program.
And those are being located where?
This is north of the Stokes grocery store in Salem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so you can see a number of homes actively
I
being
have
built right
seen
now.
those, yes.
Yeah, they're being built by they're groups of 10 families building each other's homes using a USDA mortgage that's set aside for low and very low income
There are
families.
some homes like that built in the heart of Provo, just a few blocks from here.
From Mazer, yes.
Mazer, yes.
Yes.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Any comments, commissioners?
No, I don't have any. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve item number 16.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, that passes 3-0. All right. Number 17, it is to approve or deny application for the St. Zena Orthodox Church.
Okay, so this is, this church used to be Saints Peter and Paul Orthodox Church, Orthodox Christian Church, and they separated from that organization, and now it has a new ownership. So it's the Saints Peter and Paul are on the revoked list, and this is a new application for the same. It's a new church with a new organization.
Okay.
They're still they are still a practicing congregation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same sort of church, same like Greek Orthodox type, but it's different from, they're 2 separate
It's
organizations.
a different parent organization. Okay.
And I'm not sure if there's someone online.
I don't have any hand raised online.
It's okay.
Now, this is one of the
Vicki, can
ones
I ask a
that
question?
they have to come before the commission when it's a new application, unless you waive their having to come before the commission. It's in code that they have to come.
Okay. I'll make a motion to continue this item for 1 month, and that we can maybe let them know that we're going to have to deny if they don't show up next month.
Commissioner Lee,
I'll second that.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. So, okay, that motion is for continuation 1 month.
I just don't want something similar to what happened with the Seventh-day Adventist Church, where like they didn't get the mail. So we'll give them a month and
Speaking
follow
of
up.
which, what,
Speaking of, I got you. We're looking for future. We learned from the past, right?
Yes, indeed.
all right, this is number 18, approve or deny the Seventh-day Adventist Nevada, Utah Association property.
Thank you, Commissioners. It's my second time here. I came before the County Commission the first time to clarify what had happened with our mail. After that, I left with the explicit instructions from Bert's office that make sure that you apply at the first of the year so this doesn't happen again. We sent in our application to Vicki. She has all of the documentation. I believe that we've answered all of the questions that came to us at that time.
And I read
I
it.
feel like we've all learned from the past.
Indeed. Yeah.
I went through it and I looked for something I could say that I could deny it, but I looked through it. But
Well, and I'd like to invite everybody to our 125th anniversary celebration. April 3rd is the 125th anniversary of when our church was founded in Provo.
excellent.
So,
What time on April 3rd?
pardon?
What time on April 3rd?
Oh, noon. Actually, it'll be noon on April 2nd, following our normal Sabbath services.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Comments? Commissioner Lee?
None.
Okay, we have a motion.
Make a motion to approve item number 18.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes 3-0. Approved.
Tremendous.
Approved, not
Thank you,
denied.
Commissioners. Appreciate your time.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Brad. Okay, number 19, approve or deny for the Autism Academy building. Is there someone here to speak to that, Vicki?
I don't
I
see
a name
anyone.
just- I saw a name just pop up.
I am
so-
here, actually.
Tricia,
So if I can explain this before Tricia starts. This property used to be exempt under Hurstwood Education Foundation.
Hirschwood?
And they sold it to Utah Autism Academy, who rented part of their building for the same autism education. So they're on the exempt list, and there's a new, and the revoke list again on this one too.
So is autism now wholly owned the building? Or
Yes.
Okay, just make sure they're not subletting, okay.
Okay, so now Tricia can.
Tricia, please speak.
Yes. So we have been occupying this space for about 7 years now. We provide day treatment services to individuals with autism, particularly to those who are on their more profound or severe end of the autism spectrum, in a day treatment clinic for most of them where school is impracticable. We provide therapeutic services to them, and we do so by also adding ancillary components of supports for their specific needs, as well as training to the community, first responders, additional staffing, and things like that. And again, we've been occupying this space for about 7 years now and just recently purchased the building.
Roughly, what's the annual charitable contribution do you feel that autism is providing? House?
It's hard to quantify how much, but I would estimate at least a couple $100,000 in training and additional supports in addition to our revenues.
How many youth and adults do you serve?
At this campus, we serve about 50 individuals in our clinic, and that's, yeah.
60, okay. And you've been doing, is 60 pretty much an average number?
I'm sorry?
Is 60 an average number?
Yeah, we have the capacity. We decreased a little bit during COVID. We have the capacity to serve about 100 individuals and have a wait list of over 1,000 individuals. But we staff on a one-to-one basis, and staffing has been tricky through the pandemic. So we are hoping now that we have purchased the building that we can grow in a capacity to fill the building.
Okay, great. Commissioner Lee, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's a question for Vicki. The one a couple times ago that we continued, I was going to ask this procedural question on it because this one is actually that the property itself is tied up in an agenda item number 20. Is it okay for us to go through and approve this one when the other one has not been revoked yet?
Yeah, I think that's fine as long as Vicki just keeps these straight. When she submits the exempt list, she'll make sure she adds these.
I'm looking at the exempt list. Which one is it that we're referring to? That's
The Hurstwood Education is the
Hurstwood?
next to bottom one.
the very bottom one. Okay, Hirschwood Smiles Foundation.
It's the one above
Hurstwood.
that one, Hurstwood.
Hirschwood, excuse me, Hirschwood.
But also the St. Peter and Paul is on
the
that
other
list as
one.
well. And we just approved that on number 17.
You understand?
Yes. I didn't pull this together. I should have.
That's okay.
Didn't we continue one?
We continued.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is the one we continued. You're right. Yeah, 17 was continued.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't bring that up. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought, well, it's going to naturally fall behind anyway.
Okay.
Right.
So how do we address this one, Commissioner Lee, and your thoughts?
Well, I don't have a problem with it if Paul doesn't and Vicki doesn't on it. It's just a little bit out of order when we're approving something and we technically for a second or two or a minute have two of them that are approved until we actually look at the number 20. Just a little bit out of order in my opinion. But if it's fine with Paul and with Vicki, then I'm fine moving forward with it.
And Jim Stevens says he understands what's happening.
Okay.
Okay. I'm making a note for myself that I don't miss that later.
Okay. With that said, I will make a motion to approve item number 19.
Second.
And all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, that passes 3-0 then. Number 20, approval of revocation of property tax exemptions for specific properties designated on the attached list. And the Hurstwood is one of those we were talking about.
So's the church.
And the
Yeah.
church one is
Saints Peter and
the
Paul.
St. Peter's and Paul Orthodox Christian Church.
So basically with this one, what you need us to do then is approve item number 20, recognizing the previous actions taken on items number 17 and 19 as remaining valid, correct?
Right. Well, the one was continued.
Yeah, just
Oh,
number
yeah.
19.
Just number 19?
Right.
Okay. But 17 can be, so you're right, number 19 only.
And I just wanted to point out that, we had the Seventh-day Adventist experience in 2021. It looks like the Jehovah's Witness Church in Payson is on there. My understanding
Technically
is that
Salem, Paul.
Or is it Salem?
Technically
okay.
Salem. We have to make that important dividing line right there.
My understanding is that staff's reached out to them and tried to get them in here to make the application, but it hasn't happened. So just
Can we continue that item a month too then? So when we make this motion, could I say, I move that we approve item number 20, recognizing that we are continuing item number 17, possibly let's continue the Jehovah's Witness Church, and recognizing the actions taken on item number 19. Would that work? All right, so moved.
Second. So we weren't going to do the Jehovah's Witness where they don't have to apply?
I think there's, this is probably a good point of information for the board. The experience that we had with the Seventh-day Adventist Church and their not being able to file by the time created an opportunity to go to the legislature and get the law changed that allowed organizations to apply late or after the filing deadline. That law was passed. Unfortunately, the law was passed and is not yet effective.
Doesn't become effective till May 1st.
It won't it won't become effective till May 1st. So that wouldn't necessarily apply even in this case. But current law does allow the board to waive an appearance or an application. I'm not completely 100% clear on that at the moment. I need to look at that. And so if the board would like to...
Continuing will allow us time to look into that.
If the board would like to
Okay.
continue this for one more month so I can give you better information in preparation for that, that would be great.
Sounds great. Well, we did. So moved. And I
Well,
heard.
if-
Oh, no.
If we're, wait, are we looking at continuing
Yes.
item 20?
No. Just on item number 20, we're only looking at continuing within item number 20, the
Hirschwood.
property that
Cedric
refers
Evans.
to item number 17 and the Jehovah's Witness Church in Payson. So just those two items will be continued, and then we will take into account that we took an action on item number 19. But then
Yeah,
we are
and so
voting.
we already got a motion and a second
Yep.
on that, right?
Yep, correct.
And the rest of the properties, they either were sold or they failed to reapply this year. And some of them, we have told to contact Paulette to see if they can get it under that $25,000 limit.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
we have a motion. Commissioner Lee, do you have a,
He seconded.
I did not hear that. Okay.
Yeah, I already seconded it.
Okay, then all in favor, say aye.
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 It passes 3-0. Final motion.
Move to adjourn.
So moved. So done. So let it be written. And now so let it be done.
Goodbye.
Well, thank you.
I can't run away.
You can, if you second.